So Legends of Tomorrow is about to wrap up its second season, and boy, it has been a fun ride. After a rocky first season, I was a bit worried about what we'd be getting, but it turned out to be one of the most enjoyable shows on TV at the moment. And honestly, I think it's severely underrated. So here's 4 ways Legends of Tomorrow Season 2 made time travel fun again. 1. They threw out all the rules. One of the big problems with Season 1 was the amount of rules that came with time travel. The Legends would always go to these interesting time periods and locations, but when they got there, Rip Hunter would start chastising them about keeping the integrity of the timeline. Rip Hunter goes missing, and it's all about these awesome, ridiculous scenarios, like creating the legend of King Arthur, or fighting with the Justice Society during the Second World War. It also means that the Legends have a much more active role in history. What other show has its characters hang out with J.R.R. Tolkien during the First World War, or inspire George Lucas to go on and make the Star Wars movies? It's totally ridiculous, and a lot of the time it doesn't even make sense, but the show doesn't care. Its number one priority is to have fun, plot holes be damned. And while that may sound bad for some people, it also means that when our heroes need a distraction during the Apollo 13 mission, we get this scene.
Dale! Dale! Daylight come and me want go home. Day, me said 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 day. Oh, everybody. Daylight come and me want go home. Work all night for a drink of rum. Daylight come and me want go home. Stack the banana till the morning come. Daylight come and me want go home. Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come. Lift 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch!
What the hell are you two playing at?
Okay, I got it. I cut the feed.
Oh, it's a British tradition, sir.
Flight. I had radio contact for a second, then I lost it again.
Nice voice, Professor.
Thank you very much.
That's veteran actor Victor Garber, singing the Banana Boat song. Amazing. 2. The new characters. So the Hawk people from the first season have flown away, and they've been replaced by the much cooler Nate, or Citizen Steel, and Amaya, or Vixen. And these two really add a lot to the show's dynamic. Nate is a history nerd, so he's always trying to keep the team on the straight and narrow as they travel through time. But when everything inevitably goes wrong, he kinda has to sit back and just embrace the mess. And the best part about him is that he builds this great bromance with the other nerd on the ship, Ray Palmer. Watching those two characters geek out about Star Wars or bicker about who would win in a fight is amazing. They're the Tony Stark and Bruce Banner of the team. Science bros! Another way to describe the two of them is a word I refuse to speak out loud, so it should be appearing on the screen right now to avoid me having to kill myself. Then there's Amaya, who the team pick up in the 1940s, and with the power of her totem, she pretty much is a super soldier, effectively making her the Captain America of the team, except she's much more angry and vicious. Watching her in action is just damn awesome. And the scenes where characters have to explain things like Tinder to her are hilarious. Both of those characters really helped liven up the roster, and they have great chemistry with almost everyone else on the ship. 3. The villains. In the first season, the villain was Vandal Savage, and he was the most generic-ass bad guy there ever was. He did evil stuff because he was evil, and he wanted to take over the world because he wanted to take over the world. And because the whole season was centered around taking him down, it means that we got 13 episodes where we watched our heroes fail over and over again. They didn't win until the finale, and that meant we didn't get a lot of high points along the way. But now we've got the badass Legion of Doom, and they're led by the great Eobard Thawne. He doesn't want to rule the world, he just wants to rewrite time so that he can exist. He wants to fix his death from the first season of The Flash. He just wants a chance to live his life, and that's a lot more relatable than a world domination plot. To do it, he recruits the campiest, cheesiest villains from the Arrowverse. You've got Damien Dark, Malcolm Merlyn, and Captain Cold all chewing the scenery together. It's so ridiculous, it's amazing. They bring the phrase, "it's good to be bad," to life. And now, if every DC show had as much camp as these guys do, then it might be a little boring. But when you've got dark characters like Prometheus on Arrow and Savitar on The Flash, these guys are really a breath of fresh air. It's a tone that's totally unique to Legends now, and it really helps the show stand out. What's also great about having these guys as the villains for the season is that their whole plot is to put together the Spear of Destiny, and its pieces are broken and missing across all of time. So overall, the season has been this big tug-of-war between the Legends and the Legion of Doom, and that means that our heroes have had some wins along the way. They get some of the pieces, and they even put the spear together. So we get to watch them have some great high points, not just fail for 13 episodes in a row. 4. 2 words. Mick Rory. If you'd told me 9 months ago that Dominic Purcell's Mick Rory would be the breakout star of the show, I'd have laughed in your face. But with Captain Cold off the ship, the writers got a lot of room to actually make Heatwave his own character. And what a character! He's like the team's resident pirate. He's always eating, he's always drinking, and he's always rattling off these snarky one-liners about the ridiculous situations they get themselves into.
Oh, there's one. Look, if this is about me taking all the mayonnaise, you might be slightly overreacting.
You killed him.
Killed him. I've killed lots of people.
But not only that, he's got one of the most complex emotional arcs of the season. He's trying to reconcile his former loyalties as a robber and with his partner in crime, Captain Cold, and his new loyalties as a hero and a member of the Legends. He is, without a doubt, my favorite part of the show.
Seriously? You idiots haven't figured this out by now. It all started when we blew up the Time Pigs, the Time Masters. Now history's all screwed up, and it's up to us to unscrew it up. But half the time we screw things up even worse. So don't call us heroes, we're something else. We're legends. Who writes this crap anyway?
So you may be wondering what's going on with the unkempt hair and face pubes. Well, I've been working on a project for a while now, but I've been procrastinating recently. So to give myself a big kick in the ass, no haircuts and no shaving until it's done. Sexiest man alive, reporting for duty.
Hey, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come and me wanna go home. Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come and me wanna go home. Lift 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot, punch.
Nice voice, Professor.